After a massive 145 days, it seems like the Shanghai items are officially gone from the game, and that's because the Austin Major is already here. We've got our 32 teams that are qualifying, plus we're going to be breaking down everything. Starting off with Stage 1, these are going to be the 16 teams that are starting at the lowest level, 8 of which are going to be moving on to place the teams in Stage 2. We've got a lot of returning names such as Complexity, Tyloo, FlyQuest, Lin Vision, Imperial, NRG. There's a couple brand new teams such as the Warriors, the Metzi Port, and it's going to be very interesting to see how everything matches up. Stage 2 is going to be pretty much all well-known teams. We've got FaZe, Falcons, Virtus Pro, 3D Max, Furia, Pain, M80, and MIBR. I think people are just really interested at this point if we're going to see bordered or borderless stickers, and I'm also in that position. Finally then, for our Stage 3 teams, the 8 teams that are instantly starting here are going to be Vitality, Spirit, Mouse, Aurora, Na'Vi, G2, Mongols, and Liquid. These are the teams that Valve tiers at the top right now, so they're getting a free head start all the way to basically what was the Legend stage, as the 8 teams that win out of these 16 teams here are going to be moving on into the playoffs, so it's going to be very interesting to see what exactly happens there. SkinSwap is today's sponsor, and they're also sponsoring you with their exclusive new reward system, with a reward of up to $50 today when you're using code MASTER. They have mastered the skins game, offering one of the largest selections of skins if you're looking to trade out your old ones, one of the best rates in the market if you're trying to sell off instantly, and it's completely safe. And they've got their own buying page, which is offering a massive 40% discount on every single skin they have. So what are you waiting for? Claim your exclusive up to $50 rewards by using code MASTER on SkinSwap. Now, we've got an absolutely massive dilemma when it comes to the case unboxing market. Specifically, we're talking about the unboxing rate coming in with 8 million in the past week and about 40 in the past month. That's absolutely insane, and that number cannot be understated considering it's one of the highest we've seen in a significant amount of time. The problem comes in when we really look at what cases are being unboxed right now. If we want to look at it, the majority of these cases are made up from the purchasable and active duty. Usually this number sits around 75% on average. Right now we're seeing this, which is absolutely insane and significantly higher than what someone would expect to see inside of this area. And it would be absolutely foolish to not realize this has had some pretty major disadvantages when we come to these rare cases, specifically in the prices. Something like the Prisma 2 down 20 to 25%, along with the Prisma 1, the Danger Zone. A lot of these cheaper rare cases have seen some pretty drastic drops just because a lot of their price point is very dependent on the immediate demand. That's why there's an opportunity with these cases, but right now we can see the very negative side of it. It's very important that when we compare this to some of these more expensive rare cases, we can see exactly what's going on in the market, and that's really that none of them have been impacted in a meaningful way. You can look at a price point like this and see that it really hasn't fluctuated over the past month, and the majority of them are sitting in a very similar situation. It's just the cheaper rare cases that have been directly affected, it appears, in the price point market at least. Now, something like this, in my opinion, represents such a huge opportunity because we can look at the more expensive rare cases, see that there's not really anything going on there, and therefore the cheaper rare cases probably should be seeing a lot less movement than they are currently, in my honest opinion. Right now, I think it's a huge opportunity if you're trying to get into the rare case market. These cheaper rare cases are presenting a perfect opportunity because we really don't think they should be having this much price movement. Yes, obviously they are going to be a little bit more volatile than those more expensive rare cases, but this is just a lot more than I think honestly we should be really seeing. People are overreacting because they want the fever case. The unboxing numbers have dropped down a little bit, but overall they're still a very solid case. Long term, these things have strong unboxing opportunities and they're going to continue that way. We talk about perfect investments. It's obviously not a perfect investment, but it's a really good opportunity to get into something that just doesn't have the hype right now, and that's why the price is down maybe 20-25%, and honestly I don't think it's going to have any trouble recovering, especially over the long term. It may take a month or two, but it's going to get back. Now, talking about everything to do for the Armory, it's only been about a month since we've gotten that brand new collection in the Train 2025 and the Fever case, and both of which have dropped down dramatically. Specifically, the Train 2025 collection is currently the worst thing to spend your money on, coming in with only a 59% ROI. That's absolutely abysmal, and about 20% less than you're going to be getting from the other collections on average, which is absolutely insane. Fever case obviously is still a very profitable item if we're talking about just straight up value. You're only going to be spending around 79 cents. You're getting 2 stars for that, and you're going to be able to sell it for around 88 to 89 cents after Steam tax. That is profit, but it has dropped down significantly, almost losing half its value in the past week. So there's a lot to go on in this area. The Armory is a very risky investment at the moment because we don't know if anything's going to get removed, but there's other opportunities such as the craft stickers that are really in a good position when we look at every aspect about them, but I'm not making an investment just yet. Now, talking about some potential things that could be on the horizon, first up is going to be some brand new Charms collections. I think it's a very strong possibility now that we've seen a brand new collection, brand new limited edition item. Could be next up that Charms are going to be the first thing swapped out, which could have some pretty interesting impacts at least. Otherwise, we've got this banner screen from Gabe follower right here found to be in the game files, which is really relating to something along the lines of a mission / operation, which would be much needed because I think the Armory is cool, but it's not really what everyone's looking for. And lastly, there also seems to be a little bit more of a crackdown when it comes to Valve banning specific botting servers. Now, obviously, this is something that's going to be taking a lot of effort, but I'm glad they're at least starting on it because, especially with the new Armory coming out, I think it's definitely one of the reasons why we've seen the fever case plummet so hard is because people are just botting this case and taking that free money. Now, with everything going on in the major sticker market, you might be a little bit surprised to know that the Shanghai capsules have actually shot up in price upon being removed. Now, it's not a very big shoot up in price. The only one that's gone up a significant amount is going to be the Challenger sticker capsule, currently sitting at about 35 cents. But it's very interesting if we want to compare the quantity on the market listed for this to nearly any other major. Obviously, this is not the greatest indicator of the total supply or anything like that, but it can give us a gauge in overall demand, and it is extremely low for Shanghai here. I think it's very obvious to Valve, at least, something needs to change when we're talking about the next stickers, because we've seen borderless after borderless after borderless, and obviously that's just not working anymore. People are not buying into these, people are not having confidence in their investments, and people are not really even making investments into the major stickers. We can talk about any specific sticker, and no one has really outperformed the overall market that much on average. It's just overall disappointing area because there's a lot of potential with major stickers, and there was for so long, and Valve kind of killed it. Now, I've seen a lot of people really interested in making an active duty investment right now. It could be because we got the brand new collections and they're looking at the cases or whatever, but there is a lot of opportunity when it comes to cases. The active duty cases, not necessarily. First up, let's talk about the supply. All of these cases are on an increasing trajectory when it comes to their supply. I think you're probably aware of that, but you're not aware of how massive this supply is. We're talking 50, 60 million cases for some of these active duty cases, and it's still going up every single day. We can make a comparison to the snakebite or the clutch case, which are the two most recently removed, and they have struggled significantly in getting a decent price point, and that is honestly a year after they've been removed. They've had a full year of their supply going down, and because the supply was so massive to start, it's really been hampering their growth. Combine that with the fact that we are sitting roughly at one of the most expensive time periods we've ever seen for active duty cases on average, and I think you have to find a very specific balance. If you're looking at the recoil or fracture, make sure you're getting in at the lowest possible price, because the thing about active duty cases is they can always go lower, and unless you've got some money to maybe dollar cost average afterwards, you could unfortunately end up being stuck with an investment that's down 40 or 50% in just a couple of weeks for really no apparent reason. Now, what should you be doing right now? Well, first up, make sure you're checking on everything to do with the Austin Major. If you want to make a sticker investment into old stickers, now would be the time to check out those teams, make sure everything's lining up the way you want it to. Otherwise, the cheaper rare cases are definitely a huge opportunity right now. I don't think there's anything that's going to magically make them go profitable anytime soon, but it's a great area to look into at least. Otherwise, if you're someone very involved in the Armory, it could be an opportunity to check out some investments there if you really want to at the end of the day. But that's pretty much all I got. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.